never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their weekend, and if you were not at 6687 Highway 72 W, Colbert, Georgia, yesterday afternoon, you missed a great UWF show. We'll be back at 6687 Highway 72 W, Colbert, Georgia, coming up on Sunday, October the 2nd. Doors will open at 4 o'clock, and bell time will be 4:30, and tickets will be $10. And of course, we'll talk more about that as it gets closer. But yesterday afternoon, we kicked off the show with Stevie Ray Frost defeating Alex Keitel. Luka Daniels defeated Revolution, who was making his UWF debut. And then we had the Grapplers in a tag team match defeating Dynamic Dexter and Justin Sane. Jaden Vane retained his Heritage Championship by defeating Austin Thorne. And then we had Nick Halen defeating Caleb Crocker. The semi-main event, Hunter James defeated Marcus Adams. And the main event was supposed to be brother versus brother, Curtis Coleman versus Eli Smiles. But Eli Smiles actually suffered a car accident. So Curtis Coleman came out and was very sympathetic and was very apologetic for the whole accident and all that, and made it seem like he was not going to go through with the match because his brother's health long term was more important than a wrestling match. And he gave Eli a hug, and while they were hugging, Eli was attacked from behind by Curtis Coleman's manager, Kenneth Beckner. And then the Grapplers and Austin Thorne all came out and jumped on Eli Smiles. But then Nick Halen, Alex Keitel, and Jaden Vane came out and made the save. So we had an 8-man tag team match in the main event, and Eli Smiles, Nick Halen, Alex Keitel, and Jaden Vane defeated the Grapplers, Curtis Coleman, and Austin Thorne in that 8-man tag team match. Again, a great show. And coming up here in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you where I'm going to be at this upcoming Friday. But first, let me tell you that Arizona State fired head coach Herman Edwards yesterday. I think he was 26-20 overall as their head coach. So nothing to write home about. When he first got the job, it seemed like he was going to turn them around, and then they've just been average. But there's so much off the field, behind the scenes stuff going on there. Most of it involves Herm Edwards, so they were just waiting for a good time to make the move, and I think now is a good time to make the move. So Arizona State now becomes the second team already in the month of September who has fired their head coach. The NASCAR race Saturday night, we wrapped up round one in the chase for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship. We know there's 3 races and they eliminate 4 drivers, 3 more races and they eliminate 4 more drivers, 3 more races and they eliminate 4 more drivers, and then the final race, just 4 drivers can compete for the championship. So after Saturday night, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, and Tyler Reddick have been eliminated, so we're down to 12 drivers. But Chris Buescher won the race. That's his first win since 2017, I believe. And all 3 drivers who won in the first round of the playoffs did not win in the regular season. So we have now tied the all-time record for the 5th time with 19 different winners in a season. And there's still a few big-name drivers who have not won yet this year. So there's 7 more races, so we may break the record for most different winners in a season. That's just how competitive things are now. I know I announced it last week, but I'll announce it again while we're talking about NASCAR, that it looks like Kyle Busch is officially going to Richard Childress Racing after 15 years with Joe Gibbs Racing. Now, right now, Austin Dillon drives the 3 car and Tyler Reddick drives the 8 car, but it's looking like Tyler Reddick is going to leave that car 1 year early, and Kyle Busch is going to be in the 8 car. But Kyle Busch, rumor has requested he wants the 3 car. And most longtime NASCAR fans say that Kyle Busch is about the closest to any driver that's ever actually driven like Dale Earnhardt because of his aggressive driving style. So I can see the similarities between the two. So if that is true, I can see why Kyle Busch requested that car. But I don't know if he'll get it or not. If he does, I guess they'll put Austin Dillon in the 8 car and put Kyle Busch in the 3 car. But either way, we will continue to see the 3 car on the track for the foreseeable future. And Chris Buescher comes home with the win. As I said, Chase Elliott was 2nd, William Byron 3rd, Christopher Bell 4th, and Kyle Larson rounded out the top 5. Our quick Braves review for the week. Over the weekend, the Braves swept the Phillies, but the Mets also swept the Pirates. So the Braves are even 1 game behind the New York Mets as we dwindle down toward the end of the regular season. Ozzie Albies was out about 3/4 of the season, and he finally came back and he played 1 game and he got hurt again. This time he has a broken finger, and they say if the Braves make the playoffs and go deep into the playoffs, he might make it back during the playoffs, but he is definitely out for the remainder of the regular season because there's only about 3 weeks left in the regular season, and that'll be it. And I'll continue to say it, but Braves, Mets, one of them's going to win the division, but whichever one does not win the division will win the wild card. So both teams will be in the playoffs. It's just we got to find out who wins the division and who makes the playoffs with the wild card spot. But this upcoming Friday, I will be at 122 Builders Court in Boiling Springs. It is a combination of the Straight Up Wrestling Show and American Pro Wrestling that runs weekly at 122 Builders Court in Boiling Springs. And I've mentioned their names many a times, and I'll mention their names again. But Harry Bernard Taylor and Christopher Burton are doing this show. And if you do not follow them on Facebook, you can find them both on Facebook under their names, Harry Bernard Taylor and Christopher Burton. And you can also subscribe to their YouTube page, which is Straight Up Wrestling Show. And it's Straight Up Wrestling Show on YouTube as well as Facebook. but this is their show. And if you follow me on Facebook, you have seen me share the flyer that I've already shared a couple of times. I've even sent it to about everybody that I can think of that I know is a wrestling fan and may be able to make it out. So come out and join me Friday night as Straight Up Wrestling Show and American Pro Wrestling are doing a show. You need to watch Harry Bernard Taylor and Christopher Burton to find out what the show is all about. Because I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to steal their thunder. I'll let them tell you all of that. I'm just going to tell you to come out and see me Friday night at 122 Builders Court in Boiling Springs for a great show put on by the Straight Up Wrestling Show and American Pro Wrestling. Doors will open at 5:45 and bell time is going to be 6:45 Friday night. Hopefully I will see all of you there. It's going to be a great night for a great cause of great independent professional wrestling at 122 Builders Court in Boiling Springs coming up Friday night. One more time, bell time is 6:45 and the doors will be open at 5:45 Friday afternoon. So come on out and see us for a great cause. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. A book just fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.